All right, guys, what's happening? Sean Ames here from Heart of America FPV. We're looking at some DVR here. It may jump out to you right off the bat. It may not. This is on the left HD0, on the right analog. So earlier this week, I spent probably 20 or so batteries flying the GQ with the TinyTrainer. Now, my TinyTrainers are set up with HD0. Maddie's TinyTrainers were set up with analog. I'm planning to take both of them to the Ice Storm race in Milwaukee this next weekend. And there were a few things that jumped out at me about HD0 and analog, and I wanted to make a quick video to kind of talk about it. So I'll let these labs continue to kind of play, but essentially I found it surprisingly easy at this point to swap between both analog and HD0. Shockingly so. When I switch between a 5-inch quad and a TinyTrainer, or from Freedom Spec to Open Class, I'm always needing a few batteries to adjust. The switch for me at this point with my setups from analog to HD0 is as seamless as it could get. HD0, I love it. It looks really nice, but there's still some lag spikes and stuff somewhere. And the reason I'm taking both HD0 and analog to this Ice Storm race is we don't really know how HD0 is going to handle a high multipath environment. And to be honest, analog doesn't typically handle multipath environments super great. So I'm going to take both just so I kind of, whichever works best, I'm going to fly it, you know? And so the other thing that jumped out at me was that my lap times between HD0 and analog were literally identical. So my best lap time on analog was 13.5 seconds, and my best time on HD0 was 13.49 seconds. It's impossible to say that one is better than the other. And then finally, the one thing I'm really excited about, and I'm not sure if this firmware is public yet or not. I believe that it is, but a couple months ago, I went back and forth with Vlatko, one of the developers for Orca, and he worked with me to make a setting in the Orcas for viewing HD0. Now, I use the 16:9 HD0 V2 NanoCam. That, coupled with this setting that Vlatko put on the Orcas, the field of view between both analog setup, which is like the Foxeer Predator V5 Nano with the 1.7 lens, and then this HD0 camera cropped to 4:3, the field of view is, as far as I can tell, identical. I mean, maybe a little bit different, but I'm just really pleased with the fact that it is as seamless as it is. Obviously, you're seeing a lot of breakup in the HD0. I was flying from inside of my house. The one thing I was always chasing early on with HD0 was field of view, getting that as close as possible to my analog setup, and I'm really excited that that it's finally there. So I hope this was interesting to you. It was definitely interesting to me. A, that the lap times were so close. B, that I can go between the quads essentially completely seamlessly. And then C, that the field of view appears to be identical. So good times here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for checking this out. We'll catch you next time on Heart of America FPV. Later.